3 weeks before the end of the war, April 16, 1945, our section of 3 Ben gun carriers were called up to A Company start line. They were to advance up this dike where Jerry had put up this roadblock. To our surprise, when we arrived, there were 3 tanks there, so they were asked, "What the hell's going on?" The officer told us they would not go up the road till it had been swept for mines. The reason for the shoot was Jerry was starting to cross the dike or causeway to get to the roadway back to Germany. They had to be stopped or we would be fighting them again later on. There was no cover for A Company. The ditches were full of water. There was no cover on the dike for the carriers, but we had some steel for us. So we got together and decided to go for it. The dikes we were on was the cut-off dike. The officers had asked one of the Dutch underground from Wands if they had seen any anti-tank weapons go up. He said he had not seen any, but he didn't know what was behind the roadblock. But he did feel a shoot was needed badly. We all felt that was right. Our carriers were well armed, 150 caliber heavy machine gun in the front of each carrier, also a 30 caliber machine gun on the rear right side, back compartment. Also, just then, a new sergeant came up. He was to take over my carrier, so I was then in the left side rear compartment. We all talked about the best way to go. We then decided carriers were fairly fast, so let's go when we were in range. When we opened up with all we had, we closed in. As we closed in, Jerry opened fire with what he thought was anti-tank guns. In about a minute, he had knocked out all 3 carriers. The lead carrier, all 3 carriers, all 3 men in the carriers were killed. 2 carriers, 2 dead, 1 wounded. 3rd carrier, driver, shrapnel, face, shoulder, what a mess. He was the sergeant. Just about took his leg off. The shrapnel just about took his leg off. The back gunner was decapitated. Man, oh man, I was lucky one not to get hit. Some smoke was coming from the right-hand side. I jumped out and ran around to the left side, and how I got him out, I don't know. Laid him on the ground, on the road. The driver was next, got him out, laid him on the road. Small arms fire was hitting the tracks and bogies. I then lit smokes and gave them both a bang of morphine. The sergeant said, "Get going, tell A Company where the fire is coming from, and make sure they get those Jerry's bastards for this one." I ran to the ditch and started back. Boy, was that water cold. As I was going back, there was a sergeant major, Charlie Martin. He was scout, lead man for A Company. I told him what had gone on and where the fire was coming from. "Get back and tell them where the fire is coming from. They should be ready to move out by now." Got back. Some had already started to move out, so I told the officer everything. He quickly passed the word on. From what we learned later on, Charlie went around the end of the roadblock, heard a noise, and Jerry let him have it, a burst in the stomach. But Charlie did get a shot off that killed him. When A Company got there, they were gone. First aid ambulance got there fast. Later we found out behind they had a AK gun at the roadblock. That's how they were able to get our machine so fast. A. Coburn, W.L. Jackson, W.S. White, H.H. Pennell, G.H. Oderkirk, F.R. Shepherd. They were friends of mine for a number of years. The next day, the padre held a burial service at the side of the road. By this time, the local Dutch people had placed flowers on their graves. Holy Christmas. Shortly after, they were all moved to the church cemetery at Snake, and later moved again to Holten Cemetery, their final resting place. I make sure I visit them whenever I am in Holland. They will never be missed or forgotten.